Hey everyone! Welcome to the channel. In today's video, we'll be exploring the top 8 ultra-rare and most expensive Washington quarters that are worth a significant amount of money. Some of these coins might be ones you've never even heard of, while others could very well be hiding in your collection. Get ready to discover how old is gold. Stay tuned. Before we talk about the rare and valuable Washington quarters, let's take a quick look at the history behind these coins. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate George Washington's 200th birthday. It replaced the standing Liberty quarter, and since then, it has been one of the most iconic coins in American numismatics. Designed by John Flanagan, the obverse features a portrait of George Washington, and the reverse displays an eagle holding an olive branch and arrows. Over the years, the design has been modified slightly, but the basic look of the coin has stayed largely the same. What makes these coins interesting, though, are the unique errors and variations that pop up over the years, and some of these errors have made certain quarters worth way more than their face value. Let's begin with the 1980p Mint Mark quarter. Now, for most of us, quarters from the 1980s are pretty standard, just worth 25 cents. But if you happen to find a 1980p Mint Mark quarter in mint condition, especially one that's graded highly, it could be worth much more. In fact, one 1980p Mint Mark quarter was sold for a staggering $10,000. So, what makes this coin so special? It all comes down to two main factors: rarity and condition. In the world of coin collecting, coins that are well preserved and show minimal wear and tear are highly sought after, and that's exactly what makes the 1980p Mint Mark quarter stand out. A coin in excellent condition, especially one that's been kept in near-perfect shape for decades, will naturally be more valuable than a coin that's been through daily use and wear. The 1980p Mint Mark quarter is especially rare in higher grades, like MS65 or higher. MS65 refers to a coin being in mint state, which means it's in very fine condition with little to no visible wear. Higher grades are even rarer, and their value increases dramatically as the condition improves. A coin with fewer imperfections or marks is considered more desirable by collectors, and that's why this quarter's value can soar, depending on its grade. Coins from the 1980s are generally not worth much, but the 1980p Mint Mark quarter is a true exception to the rule. When it's graded highly and kept in pristine condition, it becomes a treasure for collectors. The fact that it's sold for $10,000 shows just how much the market can appreciate a rare and well-preserved coin. While it's certainly not common to find a quarter from the 1980s worth that much, the lesson here is clear: condition and rarity can make all the difference when it comes to the value of a coin. In essence, what makes the 1980p Mint Mark quarter so valuable is a perfect storm of factors: its rarity in mint condition, its historical significance, and its unique appeal to collectors looking for pristine coins. So, if you come across one of these in your collection or while searching through change, it's worth taking a closer look, as it might just be more valuable than you think. Next, let's talk about the 1982D Mint Mark quarter. Now, most 1982 quarters are worth, well, just 25 cents, but one of these coins in mint condition was recently sold for around $4,500. That might sound unbelievable, right? But when you consider how few high-grade specimens exist, it actually makes a lot of sense. So, what makes this particular 1982D Mint Mark quarter so valuable? The key factor here is the production quality. Some of the 1982D quarters had striking issues during the minting process. These issues, which were largely unintentional errors during production, have become a big deal in the world of coin collecting. In numismatics, even the smallest imperfections or unusual characteristics can turn an otherwise ordinary coin into something special, and incredibly valuable. What kind of striking issues are we talking about? For example, some 1982D quarters had problems with the details on the coin, making them stand out from the rest. Whether it was from uneven pressure during the minting process or from an issue with the die used to strike the coins, these imperfections led to coins that were unlike the standard 1982D quarters most of us are familiar with. These errors are considered rare because they were not intentional, and it's not every day that you find coins with such distinctive characteristics. In the world of numismatics, rarity is everything. When it comes to quarters, most of them from the 1980s are in circulation, and they're really only worth face value. But a small batch of high-quality, error-prone coins, like these 1982D quarters, are a different story. This is a perfect example of how just a handful of coins with unique attributes can rise in value, especially when they're in top-notch condition. Collectors are always on the lookout for coins that have rare features, even if those features are the result of an error. This is why the 1982D Mint Mark Quarter, despite being a relatively modern coin, has seen such a dramatic rise in value. It's the rarity of high-grade specimens and the interesting production errors that make this coin so sought after. So, if you happen to come across a 1982D quarter in mint condition, it might be worth a second look, because you could be holding on to a piece that could potentially be worth thousands. Now, let's move on to a real gem, the 1983P Mint Mark Quarter. In 2014, one of these quarters, graded MS65, sold for a jaw-dropping $15,863 at auction. That's a pretty impressive price for a coin that's not all that old, right? So, why did this particular quarter fetch such a high price? It all comes down to rarity and the coin's condition. The 1983P Mint Mark Quarter is part of a transitional period in U.S. coin production. During this time, the U.S. Mint was making adjustments in how they produced coins, which led to some inconsistencies and errors in the striking process. The 1983 quarters, especially those from the Philadelphia Mint with the P Mint mark, were some of the coins that were affected by these changes. Errors were common in this period, and that's what makes these coins so interesting and valuable today. Some of the 1983 P quarters have distinctive flaws, things like weak strikes, off-center minting, or even subtle variations in detail. These issues weren't intentional, but they give the coins a uniqueness that collectors find very appealing. The more subtle the flaw, the more valuable the coin can become, especially if it's a flaw that was only found on a limited number of coins. This rarity, combined with the coin's age, has helped the 1983 P quarter become highly collectible. For collectors, the real value in these coins lies in their condition. A quarter that's in pristine condition, graded MS65 or higher, can command a premium price, and that's exactly what happened with the quarter sold for nearly $16,000 in 2014. The higher the grade, the more desirable the coin becomes. MS65 indicates that the coin is in mint state with minimal imperfections, and collectors are always on the lookout for these well-preserved examples. With so few 1983 P quarters meeting this high standard, they are considered a rare find, and that's why they're so valuable. The 1983 P Mint Mark Quarter's high price tag is a perfect example of how a coin's historical context, its production process, and its condition can all contribute to its value. Coins from this transitional period are a reminder of the subtle changes that can take place in U.S. coinage, and for those who appreciate the art of coin collecting, a pristine 1983 P quarter is a true treasure. Let's jump back a little to 1978. The 1978 D Mint Mark Quarter, graded MS68, is one that really made waves in the numismatic world. In 2021, one of these coins sold for an astonishing $32,400. Now, it's not every day that you find a coin worth that much, especially one from the late 70s. But when you consider how rare it is to find a coin in such excellent condition, it's easy to see why it fetched such a high price. So, what exactly makes the 1978 D Mint Mark Quarter so special? The answer lies in the grading system and how well preserved the coin is. The MS68 grade is one of the highest levels a coin can achieve. It stands for Mint State 68, meaning the coin is nearly perfect, with only microscopic imperfections visible under magnification. Achieving this grade is no small feat. Coins that are graded MS68 are extremely rare, and only a handful of 1978 D Mint Mark Quarters were able to make the cut. In the world of coin collecting, condition is everything. The 1978 D quarter may not have been a particularly rare coin when it was first released, but the coins that survived in perfect condition are much harder to find. Most coins from this era were circulated, which means they show wear and tear from being used as everyday currency. But those that were kept in pristine condition, either by collectors or simply by chance, are highly prized. The value of the 1978 D Mint Mark quarter is driven by the combination of age, quality, and rarity. The coin's age alone adds historical value, but its condition, coupled with how few examples remain in MS-68 or higher, is what really sets it apart. These factors make it a truly valuable piece for collectors, and the price tag of $32,400 reflects just how highly sought after it is. For collectors, finding a coin like this in MS-68 is a rare occurrence, which is why when one surfaces, it often generates so much excitement and attention. The 1978 D Mint Mark quarter is a perfect example of how a coin's condition and rarity can have a huge impact on its value, making it a standout piece in any collection. Fast forward to 1970, and we have another quarter that has truly made its mark in the coin collecting world. The 1970 D Mint Mark quarter recently sold for an unbelievable $40,000 in June 2024. Yes, you heard that right, this quarter is worth as much as a luxury car. So, what exactly makes the 1970 D Mint Mark quarter so valuable? The answer lies in its rarity. This coin wasn't just another run-of-the-mill quarter, it's part of a special series that makes it highly sought after by collectors. There's a very limited number of these coins that exist in perfect condition, and that rarity factor is one of the main reasons why the price tag is so high. During the 1970s, the U.S. Mint produced coins in large quantities, and most of them were used in circulation, which means they often got worn down. However, the 1970 D Mint Mark quarters that survived in near-perfect condition are exceedingly rare. This is what makes them stand out. Out of the many coins minted that year, only a select few were preserved in such impeccable quality. Beyond its condition, this coin holds significant historical value. The 1970 D quarter is considered a transitional coin in U.S. minting history. It marks the tail end of certain design changes and production techniques that were in use at the time, making it an important piece for numismatists who are interested in the evolution of U.S. currency. With its combination of age, rarity, and historical significance, the 1970 D Mint Mark quarter becomes much more than just a coin. It's a collectible treasure that holds a piece of the nation's minting story. The scarcity of these high-quality 1970 D Mint Mark quarters drives demand among collectors who want to own a part of this history. For those who are passionate about rare coins, finding a perfect specimen of this quarter is like striking gold. It's no wonder that one recently sold for $40,000, a price tag that reflects the coin's rarity, significance, and desirability in the numismatic market. The 1970 D Mint Mark quarter is a great example of how certain coins, due to their rarity and historical context, can be valued much higher than their face value. It's not just about having a coin from the 1970s, it's about finding one that's rare, well-preserved, and holds a story that collectors are eager to add to their collections. Now let's take a step back to 1969, a year when the U.S. Mint didn't include a mint mark on some of its coins. A 1969 no-mint mark quarter, graded in MS-67 plus condition, recently sold for $3,290. This coin stands out because, in 1969, the mint mark was often left off certain quarters, making it a rare find among collectors. So, why is the 1969 no-mint mark quarter so special? The lack of a mint mark is the key factor here. Normally, coins minted in Philadelphia don't have a mint mark, while those minted in Denver carry a D, and those from San Francisco bear an S. However, in 1969, some quarters were struck in Philadelphia without the usual mint mark, which created a distinctive variation in the coinage of that year. The absence of a mint mark is not something collectors see every day, which is why these mint markless quarters are so highly sought after. As with many rare coins, the more unusual the feature, the higher the demand among collectors. These no-mint mark quarters are unique because they represent a slight error or omission in the minting process, and that makes them interesting to numismatists. While the 1969 no-mint mark quarter may not command the same prices as some of the other rarer coins on this list, such as those from the 1980s or the 1970 D quarter, it still fetches a hefty price tag. That's because rarity and condition are everything in the world of coin collecting. A coin like this, in MS67 plus condition, is considered in near perfect shape, making it even more desirable to collectors. MS67 plus means the coin shows almost no wear and is nearly flawless, which significantly increases its value. These mint markless quarters are an excellent example of how small details can make a huge difference in the world of coin collecting. Even though 1969 was a while ago, the coins from that year continue to attract attention and hold value because of their rarity. While it might not be worth as much as some other high-priced quarters, the 1969 no-mint mark quarter is still an important piece for collectors, and its unique feature makes it stand out in the world of numismatics. Next up, we have the 1967 no-mint mark quarter. Graded in nearly perfect condition, one of these coins recently sold for $6,250 at auction. It might seem surprising, but this coin is worth a lot more than you'd expect, and that's mainly because it's in pristine condition and has a unique history that makes it stand out. So, why is the 1967 no-mint mark quarter so valuable? It all comes down to the fact that it's part of a fascinating period in U.S. minting history. In the 1960s, the U.S. Mint made some changes in its coin production, and during that time, some quarters were produced without a mint mark. Normally, quarters from Philadelphia don't have a mint mark, but in 1967, it was especially unusual for a coin to be minted without the typical identifying mark. The absence of a mint mark is what sets these coins apart. In the world of numismatics, coins with unusual features or characteristics often become highly sought after. The 1967 no-mint mark quarter is an example of this, as the lack of a mint mark was not part of the typical minting process. That rarity alone is what attracts collectors, as it represents a unique part of U.S. coin history. Moreover, the condition of the coin plays a big role in its value. This particular 1967 no-mint mark quarter, graded at nearly perfect condition, is one of the reasons it brought in such a high price at auction. Coins that are well preserved, especially those in mint state with few to no imperfections, are always in demand. The coin's near-flawless appearance means it's been carefully maintained over the years, which is what makes it even more appealing to collectors. The scarcity of these 1967 no-mint mark quarters is another factor that drives up their value. Because these coins were part of a unique production batch and weren't as commonly found in circulation, there are fewer examples left in excellent condition. As time passes, finding one in nearly perfect condition becomes even more challenging, making these quarters even more valuable to those who appreciate their historical significance. Collectors are often drawn to coins like the 1967 no-mint mark quarter because they tell a story, both about the minting process and about the way certain mistakes or changes can impact the value of a coin. While this quarter may not be as well known as some of the other famous coins on the market, its rarity, condition, and the history behind it are what make it a truly special piece for those who collect U.S. coins. And finally, we have the 1995 P Mint Mark Quarter. As of today, this coin is worth around $4,500. It may seem like a more modern coin, but don't let its age fool you. This quarter has gained significant value due to a combination of low production numbers and strong collector demand. So, what makes the 1995 P Mint Mark Quarter so valuable? This particular coin is part of a series produced during a time when the U.S. Mint was experimenting with new technologies in coin production. During the mid-1990s, the Mint was fine-tuning its processes, and that meant there were some interesting variations in how the coins were struck. While the 1995 P quarter is not known for any specific errors, it's part of a period when coin production was changing, and those subtle shifts in minting methods can create coins that are different from others in the series. In addition to the technological aspect, the 1995 P Mint Mark Quarter's value is driven by its relatively low production numbers. For most modern coins, mintages are high, meaning there are lots of them in circulation and they don't usually end up being worth much more than face value. However, in the case of the 1995 P quarter, fewer coins were produced compared to others from the same time period. This makes the 1995 P quarter rarer, and in turn, more desirable for collectors. As with many valuable coins, the 1995 P Mint Mark quarter's age and rarity are key factors in its rising value. While it might not be as old as the other quarters on our list, the fact that it's relatively hard to come by and has become a sought-after piece in the numismatic world means it has a higher than expected value. When a coin has both scarcity and a place in history, it often ends up being worth far more than anyone could predict. Collectors are always looking for coins that are either unique or rare, and the 1995 P Mint Mark quarter fits both criteria. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or just getting started, it's a great reminder that even modern coins can sometimes become valuable treasures if they have the right combination of factors working in their favor. So, there you have it, the top 8 Washington quarters worth up to $10,000 and more. From the 1980 P Mint Mark quarter to the 1995 P Mint Mark quarter, these coins show that a simple piece of currency can become a priceless treasure. Whether it's due to errors, minting quirks, or just plain rarity, these coins are prime examples of why coin collecting is such a fascinating hobby. Thanks for tuning in today. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon for more videos on coin collecting, rare finds, and all things numismatic. Have any of you found a quarter worth more than its face value? Let us know in the comments below. Until next time, keep on collecting.